Bill Cipher has been found, everyone. This is huge news. Bill Cipher has been found. So everyone can come out of their homes. Weirdmageddon is over. Everyone's safe. The world is safe. We know where Bill Cipher is, and he's been detained. So no weird stuff is going to happen to anybody. So, okay, so in case no one knows what the hell I'm talking about, let me give you a little bit of context. So Gravity Falls ended earlier this year, and it had a great ending. It was a great series. Not to spoil anything, but I'm pretty sure it's been pretty apparent. The big bad of the series, Bill Cipher, gets defeated. And at the very end of the final episode, after the credits roll, there's a very quick clip, like a filmed clip, of a real Bill Cipher statue sitting in the woods somewhere. And most people kind of shrug that off as just, just a joke or just some weird reference or something. But no, it turned out that that was a real statue hidden somewhere in the world. And when that was confirmed, people immediately started to respond to this. There was a whole thing, I think, on Reddit where people made a Google map where they were placing locations where they already looked. People checked all over Oregon and California. They checked all like the tourist trap locations and everything. There was just marks all over the place, and no one had found it. In this past July, Alex Hirsch mentioned on Twitter that the hunt for the statue is going to begin. And perfect opportunity too, considering it was summer and Gravity Falls takes place over the summer. So over Twitter, he was posting clues about this whole thing, and apparently the hunt was bigger than any of us had anticipated, because there were clues that started. I have the wiki page right here. If you go to the Gravity Falls wiki and you look up where the you look up Cipher Hunt, and it'll give you a whole list of the clues, where they were, who found them, all these things. Basically, it recaps all the events that happened. So the first clue was in St. Petersburg, Russia, which I don't think anybody expected to happen. Then the following clue was in Tokyo, Japan. So this was like a worldwide search. But then after that, it came to the U.S. and went all over the U.S., mostly on the West Coast, California. There was one in Rhode Island, one in Georgia, and ended, of course, in Oregon, where everybody assumed it would end. And people were following these clues. We had so many people. I was watching this whole thing unfold on Twitter. I was looking at all the ciphers and the images Alex Hirsch was posting, and people just went all over the place looking for this. People shared information, and finally, on August 2nd, the day before my birthday, actually, which I thought was kind of cool, someone actually found the Bill Cipher statue. There was photos of people posing next to it, and the thing was huge, too. It was like, in the show, it was like a little, well, not like this, but compared to the other characters, it was very short, but the statue was huge, and it was human-sized, and there was pictures of people going onto this property, who found it. They found it's in, if anybody's interested in checking it out, it's in Reedsport, Oregon. Well, actually, you can't check it out anymore, but I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it was so cool seeing so many people, put their heads together and figure out all the clues. They had to have, fans in Russia, fans in Japan to, find out, all the hidden things that Alex Hirsch had hid all over the place. People across America had to share their information. And what I love about this? It was the first people that found it, the first group of people that found it, they were all kids. You can see photos of kids. Check Alex Hirsch's Twitter, and you can see he retweeted all of the photos that people had taken sitting next to the statue. And sure enough, the statue had treasure. Yeah, I almost bit my tongue. I'm so into this. And sure enough, the statue had treasure under it. There was a copy of Journal Number 3, which I actually just recently got. There was, I think, the other Gravity Falls book in there. There was money from Japan. There was money from Japan, and there was money from Russia. There was a whole bunch of other cool things. There was an original sketch by Alex Hirsch that had the Pines family and Seuss standing around the statue, and it said congratulations. And the biggest prize was a USB drive that had a link to where you can view the original Gravity Falls pilot episode, which a lot of people had been wanting Alex Hirsch to release, but he wasn't too thrilled about releasing it. I actually haven't seen it yet, but I might do that when we're done here, because I've been meaning to check that out. But yeah, there was so many people who found it. It was such a great. I can't really think of anything, any show or movie or anything that has ever done something like this. This is kind of incredible. And apparently Disney was not affiliated with this. This was all Alex Hirsch, so I have no idea how he pulled this off. I remember he mentioned that he took a trip to Japan not too long ago, so I'm assuming that's what this was for, so he had to go hide the clue. But yeah, it was such an amazing thing to do for so many loyal fans. My one regret is that I couldn't participate because I live in Florida and nothing ever happens in Florida. So the only downside to this story was that apparently the property that he had left the statue on, which he did ask permission for, he left the statue there, and apparently there was some kind of property dispute that had just broken out. I don't know if this was a long-standing thing or if it was just as a result of people coming to see the Bill statue, but apparently the local police had to remove the statue. Luckily, they said that they kept it. They kept it in storage until Alex Hirsch can pick it up. I don't know if he's picked it up yet. I remember seeing a picture of him standing in front of the statue. I don't know if that was before he left it there or what, but it was cool that they didn't throw it away, because as far as I'm concerned, that statue is a part of animation history. Because, like I said, this is something like this. I can't think of anything that I've ever watched, or really any, not even cartoons, but anything that ever pulled off something of this magnitude. This was incredible. And like I said, I have no idea how Alex Hirsch pulled this off by himself. But the guy's kind of incredible, because first, I really hope one day I get to meet the guy. Or Alex Hirsch, if you're ever watching this video, send me a message. What is your secret? First of all, you got Disney, one of the biggest companies in the world that's always got to do things their way, to let you do a show under your own terms, which that in itself is an amazing feat. And then you go and pull off something like this. You had this worldwide scavenger hunt for a statue with from the show with a prize underneath it, and it's incredible. I don't know what your secret is. I think you're Bill Cipher. I think Alex Hirsch is Bill Cipher. I think that's the only way I could possibly think that this would get pulled off. You're not human, man. You're from some other weird dimension. Alex Hirsch is Bill Cipher. Hashtag that. Anyway, I just wanted to say how awesome this was that they did this, because nobody really thought that this was like a real thing. Everybody kind of, they thought it was at first, but then they kind of gave up and they were like, whatever. But then apparently it turned out to be real, and then Alex Hirsch kind of, spearheaded this whole thing, and it was incredible. I really wish that more creators were this passionate about something that they made, And again, Alex Hirsch, I need to know what your secret is. I'm planning to pitch my ideas to networks one day, and I need to know what voodoo you had to do to make this happen. I wish something that I make would ever be as half as good as something you've made, like Gravity Falls, but now I'm just sucking up. So let me just end this. I just wanted to recap what had happened and let people know, because I don't think you would have known if you weren't following on social media. But yeah, hopefully the statue is back in his possession. Maybe he'll place it in like a Disney park or something, and people can come take pictures next to it. That would be pretty cool. But whatever, man. This was an amazing experience, even though I couldn't be a part of it. I was watching it, and I was probably every bit as excited as all the people that were doing the hunting. But yeah, leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this, and what other shows do you think should do some sort of interactive, exploration game that, could be a worldwide thing. My name is Rob, and have a wonderful day.